This is WWE and ECW alumni, the Blue Meanie, and you're listening to PCW.
The question is, are you ready? Let me talk to you. I will give you a show like you have never, ever seen before. Why? Because I can. What do you guys want to talk about? I am that damn good.
I am the B-E-S-T.
And the color red in a world full of black and white. I am the eater of worlds. Yeah, if you're some acknowledge me. The champ is here. But to be the man, you gotta beat the man. And I'm saying, woo, right here. Hey, yo. The best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome back to another episode of PCW Podcast Championship Wrestling. I am your host, Wayne, also known as Semi-Dry Chicken, and today we are doing the Elimination Chamber predictions. It's our road to WrestleMania, and damn, I'm excited. I am not alone. Let me bring them out. Here we go.
I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all. I'm blickety black, blacker than black, black, I'm blacker than black, yo, because I'm black and I'm back. Yo, I'm black and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blickety black, 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 y'all, and I'm black, y'all.
Welcome, Black, Dre.
Oh, don't think we was gonna let Black History Month go by without y'all getting a taste of that. I may have forgot it in the last episode, but nah, wasn't gonna forget it now.
Yeah, we got it. We got it in. All right, let's bring them out. Here we go.
Well, I started this dance in my neighborhood. Now everybody's doing it because it feels so good. All you need is a partner that know how to move, and the rest is real easy. You just dig the groove, and when you get yourself started, it's hard to stop. You just go for your partners. You know what? And then you GRABTAGCANDES. Grab them, catch them.
Oh, what's all you do?
Doyle.
Oh, it's me, it's the DOYLE. And oh, Canada, you great big pile of snow. You race dog sleds and look like Eskimos. We're going up north, kids.
Yeah. In Toronto. They have a lot of good shows. A lot of, I think WrestleMania 18 was in Toronto, Ontario, Canada.
That was the last
It was.
time they ran the Rogers Center. Back then it was called the Sky Dome. And back then the company was called the World Wrestling Federation. It's been quite a while.
Yeah. Matter of fact, 18 was the last WrestleMania under the WWF banner, right? 'Cause I think by 19 they made the switch to WWE, right?
I believe so, yeah.
I think that's more of a Carlos question, but that sounds reasonable to me.
Yeah. So,
Let's go with
Carlos,
it,
if you're listening, please answer us right into the show so we know, and then we can answer next episode.
I can look it up real quick.
I just, I don't know why, I just think of, it just took me back to that WrestleMania. That's what I thought about. Oh, yeah.
Yes, I am correct about that. The old 18 logo was WWF. 19, they got the F out.
Fuck yeah. Dude,
How stupid is that?
It was dumb, but it worked at that time.
It did work at that time, but sometimes trying to explain it to somebody, like, oh yeah, this is they're WWE now. They got the F out. Like, what do you mean? Like, no, they took the F out. And, yeah.
They
Yeah,
were still holding on to the Attitude Era thing at the end, so they had to be edgy about it. So,
yep, right around the ruthless aggression era. Yeah, that was when that started picking up. Yeah. Do you guys? Now I think about it, do you guys own any like wrestling shirts that say WWF on it instead of WWE?
Nope.
It's actually a good question.
I thought you were gonna ask if we owned any WrestleMania. I mean, any WWE products, period, that still had the F on them. I was like, say that I do still have. I got a couple of things that have the old WWF logo on them.
Yeah, actually, now I think just anything in general, like you're not gonna
that I do because between
about
WrestleMania 18 through 19 was when I was on for some reason a big WWF DVD kick. So damn near any DVD they put out, I was buying it for most of them, not all of them, but
little did you know it would all be available at your fingertips,
right,
for just $9.99 a month.
Yeah, so I have WrestleMania 18 on DVD, like the original for when it first came out. So I've got that on DVD. I didn't buy 19, but I bought 20 on DVD, which by then was WWE. But what other pay-per-views did I buy? I think I bought SummerSlam after WrestleMania 19, so that would have been the one with The Rock versus Brock Lesnar. And like some of the other superstar DVDs that they were putting out, like Stone Cold one I bought, The Rock one I bought. I think I bought the first Ric Flair one they put out that was like a triple DVD set, which was rather disappointing because all it was just a bunch of matches. And not even some of the more ones that you would think of, but it was okay. Hulk Hogan won back when people still liked him. I think I bought I got the first Lesnar Superstar DVD they put out, Bring the Pain, the Road Warriors, like a bunch of Monday Night Wars. The first time they actually did a documentary on that, I got that. Yeah, it's a bunch of them that I have. And it was cool about those DVDs because obviously, you pop the disc in and it'd take you to the home screen or whatever, and they would just play that person's theme. So if you just wanted to hear their theme, you could just load it up and that shit would just loop on. I have to find those somewhere. I know I got them somewhere stashed, probably in a box or something.
Ron,
see what all ones I still have.
The guy we had last episode, he was a big collector of like DVDs and VHS tapes because like I would always go down to his place and he would have just anything if it was wrestling related, he bought it. Like doesn't matter if it's volume 2 of of whatever. Like they didn't even have to be a complete set. He would just fucking buy it just to have it. Anyway, so Elimination Chamber, we only got 4 matches on this card, which seems to be the standard. No more 5 matches. Which
well, yeah, well, it depends on for these ones that have like the joint feature match or the the featured matches, men and women's, they seem to cut them down to 4.
Oh shit!
Because I mean, these chamber matches, they're not as long as Rumbles, but they take half an hour at least.
Oh yeah, they're eating up a big chunk of time. And as we've come to learn now, WWE.
No, they had 5 matches last year.
Yeah.
Was it last year 5?
I think you can bet on the Rock segment lasting a half an hour. So.
Yeah, we've got that. That's probably going to be a match in and of itself. And we know, like I said, WWE has come to love its filler.
Yeah.
Well,
between
guys,
these matches.
Before we get into that, let's spice things up a bit.
I think I'm cute. I know I'm sexy. I've got the looks. The drive should go wild. I've got the move. That really move 'em. I said chill.
Fool. He told me he was here. He's not here.
Oh.
Fool. He just texted me and goes, I'm here. You lie. You liar. Well, we're going to get him for
that would not be the first time HBK's music has been played to him not coming out.
I know,
yes,
right? Liar.
Maybe Ron lost his smile.
we'll see him soon.
You've been pump faked.
Anyway, there's 4 matches on the card. I'm just gonna read off the
Give him
matches.
Bruce the Barber Beefcake's music as punishment when he comes back.
Brutus, can I play that? Wait a second. Let me see. Brutus the Barber Beefcake. Brutus the Buttress. What the fuck, Google? Buckeye. No. Man, my Google. Brutus the Barber. Yeah, what the hell? Beef.
It's like really, it's a lot of horns, I think. As I recall.
Now I'm sitting there brainstorming, like, who had a really shitty intro?
Wait, here,
Steve.
is it this one? Hold on. Oh, fuck you, ad. Fucking ads.
Isn't it that? It doesn't ring a bell.
World Wrestling Federation for over 50 years, the revolutionary force in sports entertainment.
No, come on. Oh my god, it's buffering. That's terrible. It's just like a bass guitar. That's not even fun. Oh, I thought there'd be lyrics to it. There's no lyrics to it. Sad face.
Oh man.
Anyway. Fucking, what am I high? I'm getting fucking sidetracked here. This fucking guy. Alright, let me read off the card. We got John Cena versus CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre.
Oh, you know what you you know what you could give him?
What's that?
Since he kind of made an ass out of you by playing that theme for no reason, give him Billy Gunn's ass, man.
No, I think for him, I think he would thoroughly enjoy that. I'm an ass man. He'd be like, "Thank you."
Martin Jannetty's music.
You know what? I want to real quick. Like, I know we're not even on that match yet, but I saw somebody put a video package together of the men's chamber with John Cena, CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, Logan Paul, Damian Priest, and Seth Rollins. I think they used like some older Ruthless Aggression era music. Like, they built it like an old video package, and it actually was pretty fucking good. Was it Always, maybe by Saliva? I'm trying to think. I gotta find it, but it was actually pretty well.
Saliva did have some kick-ass music when they first came out.
Yeah, because WWE used a lot of it.
Them and Drowning Pool, were really
that's
popular.
What it was. It was the first, the Elimination Chamber, the first one in. Oh God, I don't even know what fucking year that was.
2000, the first ever one.
Yes, very first.
That would have been 2002. Survivor Series 2002. Because that's the one that that was for the World Heavyweight title that Shawn Michaels won when the infamous brown tights.
Yeah.
Oh, and that awful haircut.
And that terrible haircut because the barber fucked it up.
And he said he hated that haircut, and he said he hated that fucking outfit he had. He said his last minute he had to throw together.
Yeah, because he was supposed to have a different outfit ready for that, for that match, but it wasn't ready. And then on top of that, his haircut was messed up, so it was just all bad for him that night.
His last world title run too.
Yeah, which he didn't even really want, but Vince just made him take it because he was so he had gotten so over with the fans since returning earlier that summer at SummerSlam.
Yeah, I can't believe that. Like, it just blows my mind that Shawn Michaels didn't have any other title, like world title runs after that.
That was also the same Survivor Series where Brock Lesnar's first WWE title run came to an end at the hands of The Big Show when Paul Heyman turned on him.
Oh yeah, I remember that. But yeah,
I know because that's one of the old DVDs I have.
Ron probably has that DVD too. Yeah, I was just thinking they were using that theme song, that the one from that video promo, and putting it into like the modern day Elimination Chamber package, and it works pretty well. I was like, oh, well, all of a sudden this looks slightly more interesting. We also have the women's. Liv Morgan, Bianca Belair, Alexa Bliss, Bayley, Naomi, and Roxanne Perez. Then we... Actually, if anybody else is caught up, but recently Liv Morgan and Raquel won the women's tag titles. So now you got Naomi and Bianca in this chamber without the tag titles. I just putting that out there.
Yep. And as I said that Monday when they dropped them, I said somebody just got freed up to win the Elimination Chamber.
Yep. We also have Tiffany Stratton with Trish Stratus versus Nia Jax and Candice LeRae in a tag match. Oh, it is a tag match. I thought it was a singles. Oh, I did not know that. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Whew. And then Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens. I'm going to be honest with you guys. This card does not look stacked. It does not... I mean, you guys excited for Tiffany Stratton versus Nia Jax in a tag match? Like, are you guys excited to see Sami versus KO for the millionth time? Like,
well, Sami versus KO, I mean, it's a no DQ match. It'll bring the brutality. Obviously, the match is probably going to be good, but it is what it is. I'm sure that could potentially be match of the night, depending on how hard they go at each other. The women's tag match, the Tiffany and Trish versus Nia and Candice LeRae, obviously that's not really a needle mover, but Toronto, the Trish, she'll get a nice good pop, and I'm never going to be mad at seeing Trish Stratus. So there's that.
Yeah.
And then obviously the two Elimination Chamber matches are what they are. We'll see. Most of the intrigue is clearly going to be, at least for most of the intrigue for me, is in the men's match, because we genuinely don't know who's going to win that match. And you could make an argument for damn near anybody in that match winning it.
Right.
The women's Elimination Chamber match, as I said, it seems pretty obviously set up now for Bianca Belair to win and go on to face Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania. So that one, kind of some of the intrigue has been taken out of it, unless they decide to just shock the shit out of us and give it and have somebody else win. Other than that one, that would probably be, just a good match where obviously the women are going to go hard, but the outcome is going to be pretty paint by numbers.
Right. I mean, this card does seem pretty predictable.
Unless they inject the Jade Cargill storyline into it in some way.
Right. Ooh.
That could add a level of intrigue to it as well.
Oh, very true. All right, well, let's dig in here. Let's dig in per match. Get a little bit of length out of this, see what we can do. Let's start with the Tiffany Stratton and Trish Stratus versus Nia and Candice LeRae. This seems to me, this could totally be like an episode, something you put on Raw or SmackDown. Doesn't need to be PLE worthy. I thought it'd been nice if we could see Tiffany, put the title on the line, considering, with the history with her and Nia. I know she already did and defended it against Nia, but why are we just milking this? And I'm guessing just milking this till WrestleMania. That's all it was, just filler, right? I mean, then did we even need to have it on the card? Could have put anything else on the card. I think this is I could see Nia winning here. And do you know why? It's because it's a tag match with nothing on the line. I can see the odds stacked against her. But they're probably gonna book her strong with Trish and go the hero's way out. Let the faces win. I saw a lot of pictures today. They were posting Trish and Tiffany Stratton together, like wearing like matching outfits. It was looks like mother-daughter almost. They look very similar. Go ahead, Dre.
I saw a picture like that. I think when they were paired up. And yeah, they do look very strikingly similar as far as their, not saying that they look alike, but the whole matching in the hair and also was like, wow, I agree. Like I said, the mother-daughter vibes, with the mother's clearly way hotter, but
Yeah.
there is that. Far as the match itself, my guess is that they're going to play it safe. They're going to make the Toronto crowd happy and have Tiffany and Trish go over. Plus, it will help put a final nail in this Tiffany Stratton Nia Jax thing, since they did not give her the clean finish in their one-on-one match that they had, which was a very good match. I'll give them that. Like, that one-on-one match they had was good, and it was deserving of a clean finish, in my opinion. Like, I think as I stated when it happened, Tiffany Stratton, to me, finally earned the babyface accolades that she had been getting before this, based upon her performance in that match, and Nia Jax really playing up the heel factor, plus catching the beat down afterwards, and then Charlotte sitting over her and cutting a rather weak ass promo. Charlotte really could have done better in that aspect of it. But coming out of that, I felt like, okay, Tiffany is now really earned her babyface status. She's earned that position now. So now I'm kind of rooting for her. To me, she's kind of been a little weak on it in the promo since then. She kind of does need to make that full transition over into babyface in terms of her promo work, because some of that is still coming off a bit heelish at times. I don't know if it's just her character or what, but now that she's solidified in that spot, she kind of needs the character needs to, make the switch as well. But the match itself, like I said, it'll be pretty paint by numbers, and I think they'll play it safe for the Toronto crowd.
Oh, yeah, that is true. Yeah, you're right. That is fucking true. They are just it's gonna be a quick, easy win for the faces. Even though, like, I can't see, never mind. I mean, like, I'm looking at it from glass half full. I was like, you can put Nia over, but, like, I guess Nia doesn't even fucking need it, because I don't even know what Nia's even doing for WrestleMania. So, now that she's going to look
TBD.
Like out of the title.
Now, I would say, one, I hope they keep Charlotte Flair out of this match. Just let this be. I hope they keep her out of it. I think the best outcome would be if, one, like I said, Tiffany and Trish win, but also they win by Tiffany pinning Nia. Mm-hmm. That would be the way to definitively close the door on that feud. Don't have Candice LeRae take the pin from Trish or take the pin from Tiffy, because then that still leaves the door open for Nia to try to insert herself in this feud. I think they do need to close that chapter so that they can fully focus on Tiffany versus Charlotte going into WrestleMania. So Tiffany should pin Nia to win this match.
Nice. Before we go on, he texted me. This time I think it's true. I think he's here.
I think I'm cute. I know I'm sexy. I've got the looks that drives a girl wild. I've got the moves that really move her. I said chill, up and down their spine. I'm just a sexy boy. I'm not your boy toy. I'm just a sexy boy. I'm not your boy toy.
Ron, welcome back.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? Thank you so much for having me back yet again. It has been way too long.
I got your text earlier, and you said here, and I fucking played your theme music in.
No!
Dude.
Oh, that's
classic.
That's classic, dude. That's epic, though. Remember all those times when they got the crowd with the fake freaking music? With the
fake Bret Hart music?
What did I say? How many times they pump faked it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember that. That was in Canada too, right? Where they played like Bret Hart's music, and I remember that Sean fucking got on Maul. That was fucking.
Oh,
great.
he did that recently. Well, as recently as later, like very later in the career too, when he was, I think he was healing against Jericho. Maybe could be wrong. But yeah.
We
Good stuff. Sorry about that text, dude. I tried to text you as soon as I sent it. I'm like, oh no, the music could be playing.
And then I said, and then he asked me about changing his theme music, and I just pictured JR. We're live, pal.
Live, pal. I thought that was
pal.
a Sid Vicious reference when Mean Gene Okerlund was interviewing him backstage. And
Oh,
he's like,
yeah,
oh,
that's
can I
what
do
it
that
was.
promo again?
Yeah, that's it. We're live, pal.
It made me chuckle.
Oh, in WCW when he was like drunk as fuck.
Was that WCW? I thought that was WWF, but
Could have been. Maybe I'm thinking of somebody else who was drunk as shit in WCW and cut a terrible promo during their twilight years.
sounds like a Scott Hall.
It really could have been.
We're digging into the Elimination Chamber here, Ron. We're already into the first match,
excellent.
but I did want to bring up. We did mention Shawn Michaels winning the first ever Elimination Chamber, wearing the terrible brown, terrible tights and the terrible haircut.
Oh, and the terrible haircut. My God.
Fucking
he
page boy.
He was not a sexy boy. He was an awkward looking boy. But I bet Vince
I know
liked
they
it,
had
though.
a story. There was a story behind those trunks. I forget what it was, but what a match! That was a match. The people involved in that match. What was that? Nash and RVD and Triple H and Kane, right? Jericho.
It was Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Booker T, Kane, Rob Van Dam, and Jericho.
So about the first ever Elimination Chamber.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like this now.
I'm about to say that's when also the one where Rob Van Dam damn near crushed Triple H's throat trying to hit the 5-star.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And didn't land right. It landed right on Triple H's throat.
And you know what though, you gotta kind of at that time, it's that's the very first ever. So judging distance and everything, doing something nobody has ever done before in a structure nobody's ever been in before. It's fucking crazy. So the fact that they were able to pull off half that shit, and now the chamber is vastly different than it was. Vastly different.
Oh,
you know
yeah.
why? Because
it's like a padded trampoline now compared to what that was.
Dude, I helped build this Elimination Chamber up at Atomic Design a couple of years ago. And that's back when AJ Styles, I remember one. I think it was AJ Styles or Bray Wyatt. Maybe it's Bray Wyatt when he won the title and he won it in the chamber. But yeah, we were I'm getting a little sidetracked. Let's wrap up this match here. We were talking about the women's tag match, the first on the card. Doyle, let's get your thoughts on this match.
There's not much to add to this. This is like the very definition of a filler match, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like we said, it kind of only exists to get Trish on the card in Toronto. And it's kind of unfortunate that this women's tag match comes the same week as that fucking amazing match for the title we had on Raw that we already talked about. But because this it's not going to be as good as that.
Nope.
Yeah, it's basically a nothing burger, I think. I actually think Trish is going to get the pinfall just because it's in Toronto. And therefore, I think she'll probably pin Candice LeRae. I understand the logic of Tiffy getting the win, but if it's Trish in Toronto. But Dre said he doesn't want Charlotte Flair. I'll be shocked if Charlotte Flair does not interfere in this. If not during the match, after the match. Because Tiffy has got to find a way to babyface it up. Trish has to solidify that heel turn because she just came out. She came out to face Pops. The very first promo was just like, "What are you doing?" And it hasn't really been clarified since then, I don't think. So she needs to more solidify herself as a heel a little bit, and beating on Trish in Toronto would certainly do that. But I expect the faces will win the match at least.
Yeah.
I'd have to agree with you on that one.
Yeah, I say, Ron, what do you think of this matchup? Tiffany Stratton and Trish Stratus versus Nia Jackson, Candice LeRae.
I mean, look, you got somebody in Tiffany Stratton that is just, again, has a rocket attached. And you're going to throw Trish on there. There may be a turn. Trish could turn because she's really good at that heel. I think she healed out. She definitely healed out the last time she was around. And then before that, I guess it was Trish and Flair, right? Freaking phenomenal. 5-star match, in my opinion, at that one WrestleMania. Nia Jax and Candice, I mean, you're thinking there. Did you think what? I didn't get to follow a lot of this one beforehand, but did you say not Nia she's healing out or she's baby facing on this one?
Oh no, Nia is full on heel.
No, not yet.
So that hasn't
She
changed.
has not reached her appreciation phase yet.
So
No, but
I see a turn. I see a turn.
Tiffany's still trying to find her feet as a babyface, I think. When she won the title, I don't think they intended her to turn babyface because she cut a heel promo, but then the crowd just wouldn't stop cheering for her, and now she's aligned with Trish Stratus in Toronto. I mean, it doesn't get much more babyface than that.
Yeah. They've pulled the trigger. They finally pulled the trigger on.
But she's still
Tiffany Stratton
trying to.
being full
She's still
on
trying to
face.
get her sea legs as a babyface. I think. I
Yeah,
don't
So
think
you
that's
think
something
they
to-
do the turn to make Tiff more of a baby face? You do the Trish turn in Canada. I mean, it's a possibility.
I mean, like, Trish was already a heel, so, like, I mean, I thought when she came back, I was like, she's still a heel, right? So, like,
Yeah,
her
and
turning heel
it's her
would not be a
25th year
surprise
in
to
the
me at all.
company. We're making a big deal out of that. I don't think they're healing her up.
Unless,
No.
like,
Yeah.
her teaming with Charlotte on a beatdown, because I would never see Charlotte and Trish Stratus on the same page, considering the rivalry between them. So that would be interesting.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't think so, because...
It would be.
What does it
My
do for either of them?
my only rebuttal against that is that Tiffany is too new as a babyface. She's just, like, as Doyle says, she's just now getting her sea legs as a babyface.
Yeah.
And she hasn't been portrayed as this juggernaut type person or this person who's, like, overcoming obstacle after obstacle and fighting back or this, that, and the third. She's just right now just over as hell with the fans. Her babyface character hasn't really been established yet. So I don't see her as the type to suddenly be a babyface and then now already about to have to face one legend in Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania or one veteran in Charlotte at WrestleMania. But then they're going to stack the odds against her even more by adding Trish on top of it. So now going into WrestleMania, she has to deal with Trish and Charlotte and somehow overcome that as a new babyface, still fairly new-ish on the main roster, less than 2 years, I think, on the main roster. I think that's a little bit much to put on her plate right now while she's still figuring things out as a babyface. I think Trish now is more there to give her the rub, the babyface rub, and help solidify that. Like, okay, she's good now. Here's the legend also co-signing her being good now, and let's do that just to build her up and give her that momentum and that rub going into a feud with someone the caliber of a Charlotte Flair.
Yeah, if it wasn't WrestleMania season, I would say, yeah, that's a possibility. But they're gonna, if anything, they're gonna make Tiffany more babyface for sure.
Cool, guys. Cool. All right. Let's move on to the next match on the card. We got Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens for the 1 billionth time in a unsanctioned match now. I can't remember the last time we had a unsanctioned match. And for people who don't know what that is...
You think they're going to take that all the way to WrestleMania?
For people who don't know what an unsanctioned match is, it's a very... I have the wrestling definition here. A variant of hardcore match is a non-sanctioned match, unsanctioned match, or lights out match. In addition to this match, not having any rules, and the objective being achieving a pinfall or submission anywhere, the match is not officially recognized by the promotion. It doesn't count.
So wins and losses do not count.
Yeah, in kayfabe, the match is sometimes used when a wrestler is injured in the hands of another wrestler and wants revenge but can not be medically cleared. Thus, he agrees to a non-sanctioned match where the promotion is not held liable for any injuries occurring during the match. Wow.
Such as
Yeah,
what
banger.
happened with Triple H and Shawn Michaels at SummerSlam 2002.
Yes!
Oh, yes.
Yes!
Oh, what a match.
Yeah, then he took him out with a sledgehammer at the end.
Oh,
Never
it was
forget
freaking
it, Ron.
fabulous.
I'll never forget it. It was great.
Was that great?
It was.
Yeah, that was great.
It was great. Because, dude,
was
like, that
great.
started...
It was. I mean,
that started the
finally,
rivalry.
we were all happy to finally get Sean back. I remember when they cut the promo on Raw where they both came out to the DX theme,
Oh,
and they all had everybody hype and shit, and all of a sudden, let's get ready to suck it. Kick Sean in the gut. Pedigree.
And
fuck.
And Ron
I died inside.
Yeah, dude, Ron, you being like the huge like HBK fan and me being the huge Triple H fan, in that moment I felt like the scene in like Batman Forever where where Jim Carrey's Riddler is just laughing at the TV. That was me, just just yeah, it was great. Cause
but we wanted to see DX back.
We did, but I know, dude, it was such a fucking cock tease because we wanted DX back. And then it started the rivalry, which, like I said, was fucking great. And then
which ended in that 3 stages of hell, I think.
Yeah, and then we got, we're talking like the 3 stages of hell in Armageddon, and then led to that's after the Elimination Chamber, right? Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, the 3 stages of hell.
After.
Wasn't that the follow? Was that Armageddon or was that?
Yeah, that's Armageddon. That's where he lost. That's where Michaels lost the title back to Triple H.
Right.
But yeah, that
because after that they had the last man standing match that we were at the Rumble, which I think they both got counted out for the 10 count.
Let me tell you guys how when Triple H put Shawn Michaels through the table, Ron had nachos in his hand. I say had.
It was a cheesesteak.
Yeah, dude. It was a cheesesteak. That's what it was because it went all over the fucking place, all over me, all over the.
That was the springboard, I think, that Triple H moved out of the way and Michael sent himself through the table.
Yeah, I remember being there for that one. That was
in the 3 stages of hell match or the last man standing?
That was the last man standing at the Rumble.
Okay.
Bloodbath.
Yeah, what a rivalry. Always straying away. What were we talking about? Oh, unsanctioned match. Yeah, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn.
KO and Sammy.
Let's bring it back. These guys, like I've seen the rivalry for quite some time. I know this is now a different iteration of these two characters. These guys are both leveled up to a higher standard. Like you said, KO is just always fresh. No matter what rivalry you put him in, wherever you put him, I'm good. I don't care who he's feuding with. I don't know. I just feel like I've seen this rivalry between these two characters as of recent, right? And it's always the same. KO is always the heel, and Sammy's always the face. I don't know. It'd be kind of nice for once. Maybe it'd be the other way around, but that's not the.
The hell's that after school special boy gonna do as a heel?
Sami Zayn was a good heel for a minute. We're talking
when he had the hat and the
green jacket that he wore every week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can't think of like peak Sami Zayn. Maybe Bloodline is peak Sami Zayn, like in the Bloodline.
Oh, 100%. He was over.
That's definitely peak Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
Maybe you could say him, when he won the title when he defeated Gunther for the IC title.
Yeah.
Maybe that was his peak thus far, but somewhere between that and the Bloodline.
These two guys are always going to be upper mid card for me. But do you guys see any of these two winning a world title within the next 3 years?
Kevin Owens.
Yeah,
Kevin
hopefully.
Owens. Dude, remember, it's been a long time since KO has held a world title. A long time.
You need to put the title on Punk eventually and then have Kevin Owens take it from him. But, think about it with Sammy. You want to talk about over? Yeah. I think he's one of the main reasons why the Bloodline became – come on, everyone's talked about it. I'm not saying anything new. He saved that entire storyline. He injected it with another genuineness that was relatable.
No, yeah,
it was amazing.
You're right.
What he did there.
I agree.
Over.
But what was that? What was that, Dre? What was that?
He injected some energy in it. I'll give him that. He gave it a different dimension that it did not have before. There was definitely an entertainment value that he contributed to it, that made them different from being just a dominant staple of bad guys. So I'll give him that he gave him a different dimension and a different entertainment value to it. Huh?
He injected humor into it.
Yes. A certain lightheartedness that enabled the fans to kind of get behind it as opposed to just hating everything that they did. So I'll give him that. I don't know what I would say that he like saved it or anything like.
I mean, I think I would argue that he's a big part of the reason you can tell the difference between Jay and Jimmy now.
Dude,
Yeah,
100%.
Yep. I agree with that.
Yeah, definitely give him that.
So I mean, I think. Well, I mean, we got two ends of the spectrum between me and you, which is Ari, Sami Zayn. But yeah, I mean, I think I probably praise him too much, and Dre, I think you're a little too hard on him.
Yeah, I'm about to say, yeah. You might not know this, Ron, but I am the resident Sami Zayn hater. I dunk on him every opportunity I get, especially this current iteration of him post Bloodline. I feel like he is just a walking, talking after school special all the fucking time.
Dre's not
and
feeling
especially
himself.
this
He's
fucking
feeling
Monday where he cut that stupid ass promo. I went to Kevin Owens' house. I didn't know what I was gonna do, and his mom was there, and I wound up hanging out with her, and we talked for a while. And after I got home, I couldn't barely stand to look at myself because of what I was going to do. You don't shut the fuck up with that little stupid ass bullshit.
I love it. You're so right, dude.
You ashamed of yourself because you went to somebody's crib to whoop their ass and wound up kicking it with their moms. Like, that's what you ashamed. Man, fuck out of here. If this would have been the attitude era, you know what he would have done with KO's mom? Yeah, exactly. Thinking it, and I don't even have to say it. You
say
already
my name.
Right. Right. He'd have went sexual white chocolate on her ass.
Yeah.
That's what the fuck he would have done.
That's true. Attitude era would be like, yo, I banged your mom. Like,
right.
What?
Wouldn't have been none of this. I was ashamed of myself. He was like, yeah. We just seen a video. What's up, KO? It's me and your mom's kicking it. Where you at, fool? In the bed. That's what would have happened. But now, no, we get this little dumbass shit. I'm ashamed of myself. Shut the fuck up. Oh, Kevin Owens fucking pile drives him off the top rope.
I mean, this feud is just dull. It's just like, I mean, KO was bringing it as he always does. Like I love how he does his promos. He does them from like the car now, which he's just so off the cuff with all his promos. I think.
And I'm totally on board with you about the whole Sami Zayn thing. I'm actually not a very big Sami Zayn fan. As soon as he grew the beard, I kind of actually was like, but I started appreciating him with the bloodline stuff he did, and now it just went right back to the same old. Yeah. Like, you're meant for a mid card. That sucks for you, but like, especially if you're doing, that stuff from last week. Like, he's not writing it, but shit, dull.
Right. All right. Well, with that said.
And I don't think his characters changed really that much. I just think when he was with the Bloodline, it made for a good contrast against somebody like Roman Reigns. Sami Zayn being, the more straight-laced, white bread counter to the, ruthless, hard-nosed tribal chief Roman Reigns and even the Usos. He made a good contrast, but now that it's just him and his character standing alone,
he's fun when he's tagging with Owens.
Yeah, because again, there was a contrast.
Yeah,
Kevin Owens, the high strung, off the wires, always ready to fight somebody, versus Sammy, the more even killed. Hey, let's talk this out. Kevin Owens, fuck that shit. Let's just fight.
Mm-hmm.
That was a contrast. I think that's probably where Sammy works his best, is when his character has somebody that's opposite or different to bounce off of.
Someone who's harder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Him just being the straight-laced after-school special by himself, it just wears thin.
I mean, I'm assuming, or not assuming, but I think KO should go over in this match. He should win this feud.
I don't think so.
I don't. What is Sammy gonna get out of this? What's Sammy gonna
Well,
get out of
maybe
this
the
feud?
company can get something out of it if someone runs in and they can interject someone else for one of the two to move forward the Mania with.
Are you suggesting somebody?
Randy?
Yeah, that's true. Insert Randy Orton.
Oh man.
Yeah, because what does Orton do for Mania? You know, so like insert him in this somehow. I don't know. I mean, at least with him and KO.
Assuming he comes back from Mania.
Sure.
Yeah. Sure.
Oh, man,
I
they got
kind of thought, Ron, you had asked if this is going to go through till Mania. I had kind of thought this was going to be a Mania match. But I wonder if they went to them and said, hey, guys, you want to be like just another match at WrestleMania, or do you want a main event in Toronto? You know, and they might have gone like, oh, let's do that instead. I could see if Randy comes back, I could see this meeting KO and Randy at Mania, and then you throw Sammy and whatever the ladder match for the IC title is, or what, you know. That's a possibility, you know. But I could also just as easily see them running this back too, because there is maybe this ends with no definitive winner, or maybe it ends because of shenanigans or whatever. We have to do it again.
You already get stopped early because Kevin Owens is going to eat his face or something, you know? Like, they just...
like I can see, like, Kevin's about to, like, literally kill Sammy, and Randy comes back to save, you know, like, I can see something like that happening.
Mm-hmm.
It will be entertaining nonetheless.
Yeah, I mean, I think this might... last time I said this, we got the Usos dud, but I think this might be a match of the year candidate. I think I'm going to love this. It's going to be brutal and bloody. You know, basically a hockey fight in a wrestling ring, and probably all over the arena too, I imagine. This is my cup of tea.
Yeah, yeah. This definitely has match of the night potential and show stealing potential if they really let them cook and go at it.
And I think they will.
Let's see some hockey jerseys put on. And
yes,
did they do that before? They put on the hockey jerseys and beat the shit out of each other?
Yeah, they did that in
Canada.
What was it, Pittsburgh?
I think they were
when they were the tag team and they had the title match. They were defending it against Judgment Day.
Yeah, I could see that happening again during Toronto. I mean, like, let's put on some fucking jerseys. And put on some tubes.
Maybe one of them, but not both of them, since KO is obviously a heel.
KO would put on a tube.
Well, I could see him putting on a Canadians jersey or something, you know, like.
Yeah.
Oh, if you wanted to troll the audience.
Yeah.
Talk about. I love KO's way of trolling people with T-shirts. With the shirts.
I was just going to say it.
Oh,
so good with that, right? Like when he was feuding with Cody, always wearing, like, you know, Dusty Rhodes shirts and shit like that.
Oh, hell yeah.
Because, you know, like, certain wrestlers would kind of do that. Remember Rick Rude used to do that with his pants? He used to, like, airbrush, your opponent's, like, wife on your pants. Like, I thought that shit was kind of, like, clever. Like, just getting inside the mind of your opponent, you know? And KO,
he was awesome.
And KO doesn't have, like, a jacked body, so KO advertises with what he's got. He's got that fucking shirt, man. And he's always got, just like, you know, that's what he's strong with. I always think that's funny. Just like fucking Drew McIntyre is strong as shit on Twitter. Like, the man's fucking funny as fuck on Twitter. Like,
you know, there's been a lot of good ones. There was one that he did when he was facing Miz that I wanted to get. I forget what he did, but it was just genius.
Yeah. So I'm curious to know what shirt he's gonna wear for the PLE. He was wearing a Bret Hart jersey, I think, the other week.
Be fun, I don't know. Be kind of funny if he wore a shirt that had a picture of Roman Reigns when he was kicking his ass. What was it, last year when they had their title match at Elimination Chamber? And wasn't that in Canada last year or year before last?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Have that picture where where Roman was kicking Sami Zayn's ass and talking shit to his wife
2 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it was in Perth, Australia last year.
Yeah,
okay,
I'm
so
sure
2 years ago then.
A good shirt. Anybody else want to put anything else into this match before I move on? Anybody?
Oh man, just to get you to go back with what you said about when he was against Cody, his shirt said "The Canadian Dream, son of a security systems technician."
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
He did have some fucking good ones.
Cody sucks eggs. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Now I'm on the internet.
You can find like good shirts. All right. While you keep looking for shirts, let's move on to the women's elimination chamber match for the women's world title. We have Liv Morgan,
World title opportunity.
world title opportunity at WrestleMania. Liv Morgan, Bianca Belair, Alexa Bliss, returning Alexa Bliss, Bailey,
Yum.
Naomi, and Roxanne Perez. And I'm gonna be honest, I kind of like this card, because I feel like you can set up a couple feuds in here for WrestleMania.
There's a team in there, right?
There's a tag team in here. A tag team that just lost their tag titles. We got Liv Morgan, who's hot off of being a women's world champion, but now she's a tag champion. But it looks like, I feel like her and Alexa Bliss have some tension with each other.
Oh, big time.
And then you got the wild card, I would say, would be Roxanne Perez or Bailey. But
Has that happened often
what?
with the NXT talent being interfused in something like this?
Not too often.
No.
But like right now, Roxanne Perez is kind of tweening between NXT and main roster. Like she's obviously main roster and probably Raw bound. I think she's just in the final days of her time in NXT.
The same thing. They did the same thing with Tiffy last year. She had a great showing at the Rumble, and then she was in the Chamber, and she got called up somewhere in there. I might have been right after, right before. I can't remember what.
Like shortly thereafter, Tiffy made her main roster debut.
Yeah, Roxanne Perez pretty much on the Tiffy timeline.
Yeah, I said my guess is for Roxanne looks like she's probably, I think as I mentioned before, seems like she's lined up to have a match with Jordan Grace upcoming soon, either at Stand and Deliver or maybe they book it for a Roadblock or something time in between, at which point Jordan Grace will probably win that match, get her lick back from last year when Jordan Grace was still in TNA and was the TNA Women's Champion and challenged Roxanne for the NXT Women's title and lost. So they'll probably balance that out with Jordan Grace getting the win over Roxanne. That'll probably be her final NXT match before permanently taking residence on the Raw roster.
Yeah, man, she's been ready for at least a year too, and I'm glad they haven't called her up if they didn't have anything for her to fucking do when she got there. It seems like they call these kids up, and only one or two a year actually end up being worth a damn because they don't have fucking all for any of the other ones to do.
I think they need a fourth hour of Raw.
Yes. You know.
I think they need to add another show because now we have that LFG shit on Sunday. Like I thought that was my
They do
day.
have another show. It's on Tubi.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, we have LFG, and if you win that, you get to go on Evolve, and if you win that, you get to go on NXT, and if you win that, you get to go on to the main roster. Just
like I'm just waiting for them to start sending people to TNA too.
Yeah.
Oh, that will be likely happening at some point. There will be plenty of crossover.
At least you like.
What do you guys think about possibly? I mean, Bliss just came back. Say Roxana, she gets her flowers by kicking it hard, proving she belongs. And this is Alexa Bliss's comeback story. And it ends up being Roxana Perez, Bailey, and Alexa Bliss, as the final three.
Not while there's a woman in the match named Bianca Belair.
I guess whoever has.
I know, but they haven't been. I feel like she's going to be in that tag team bracket for a little bit longer until some of these other girls come up, and then she maybe a year or two later, she's like, "Don't forget about me," and she comes and starts bench pressing people. I don't know.
I think that time is now. Think about it. They have teased us with a Bianca Belair versus Rhea Ripley match for at least probably 3 years.
Yes, they've never wrestled.
Yeah, it was like
against each other.
Elimination Chamber maybe like 3 years ago when both
Yeah.
of them, both Rhea and Bianca were in it, and they teased the confrontation then and have not done anything with it. Since then, both of them have elevated to basically the top of the women's division now.
True.
Bianca Belair put her time in pretty much all of last year in the tag division, more or less in the mid card, while still remaining one of the most popular women in the division. Jade is ready to come back imminently and probably get into stand on her own in a singles feud. Naomi as well will probably maybe be there with her. It's time for Bianca to step back into the singles scene and reestablish herself on the top of the women's roster as a singles competitor. And we're going into WrestleMania, so we know it's all about the big matches. Then there's no way in hell, in my eyes, Bianca Belair doesn't win this match.
I absolutely agree with you, Dre. Looking back, the last time Rhea and Bianca crossed paths in a singles match was an NXT title match, and that was a long time ago. NXT. And since then, both of them have reached elevations of great heights. So seeing this iteration of both of these characters head to head at WrestleMania, for sure, man. I absolutely agree. Bianca is the one. The second they took those tag titles off, I was like, oh, that's it. I knew it right away. And I'm thinking, now that if I want to dig the rest in here where I think the rest of the women are going, like I said, I think we're getting some. I thought we were getting some sort of tension between Liv and Alexa, and
that's very possible.
And I understand because they eliminated one eliminated the other from the Rumble. They have a lot of history together as a tag team. There was a feud starting before Alexa left, and I know we're like, well, but Liv and Raquel are now in the tag team scene. Well, Alexa Bliss could get a tag team partner, a former tag partner who's now in the Wyatt Six. Would kind of fit well to be a tag partner to go after those tag titles at WrestleMania. Alexa Bliss.
That'd be cool.
And you know what I mean? Like, bring them to the Wyatt Six. Bring those women tag titles over. I mean, that's what I'm kind of piecing together here. Honestly, I don't know what we're doing with Bayley yet or Roxanne.
That's it right there.
Right there. I mean, exactly.
That's it right there. They've been having tension for a while now since over on NXT, which you wouldn't be aware of if you haven't been watching. But Bayley and Roxanne have been having back and forth for almost going on a month now. So my guess is something will happen in this match that will probably lead towards a Bayley Roxanne Perez match, probably at WrestleMania or going into WrestleMania. I could see that happening.
And
that
maybe
makes
WrestleMania,
sense.
maybe Stand to Deliver, but my guess is probably WrestleMania, and that will be the beginning of Roxanne on the main roster and her first major main roster feud.
And that's
we all
things
know
that
how
Bayley-
Bayley is all about putting people over, putting the next one over. She's
Right.
she's as selfless as it gets.
Yeah, and that's the thing with Bayley.
That would be a great chance to get her over at Mania. Even if she loses, having a great match with Bayley would mean a lot.
Right, and that's what I think is
Absolutely.
cool is like with these Elimination Chamber matches, within the Chamber match itself is a WrestleMania rivalry beginning or starting, or you know what I mean? Like it's within the Chamber itself. We see two of them right here, potential of two of them.
Yep.
So,
And that's one other reason why I think Jade Cargill will probably, well, I'll say probably, very high likelihood that she could factor into this match in some way.
I mean, if Bianca's going to, if in your scenario, if Bianca's going to win the match, and I have a different winner, by the way, but if,
let's hear your opinion,
thought
Doyle.
Bianca was going to win for weeks. I've thought Bianca was going to win, but they just haven't progressed this fucking Jade Cargill storyline. Like, if it was already over, sure, Bianca, but it's still hanging there. So, like, we all want to see Rhea and Bianca, absolutely, but they're both baby faces, right? If that match is going to happen, I want one of them to be a heel. I don't care which one it is, but I want one of them to be a heel. And if Bianca's going to turn heel, it means she beat up Jade, and if she beat up Jade, she has to have a match with Jade. which means she can't have a match with Rhea. And I don't know. I think Naomi did it, by the way. So maybe the match is Naomi and Jade, and Bianca's free to do her own thing.
I think the same thing. Even though they said it was Liv and Raquel, I still believe.
Not.
Yeah,
nobody
believes
believes
Naomi.
No, I think Liv is going to win, and I'll tell you why. I know, it's fucking been done to death forever, Liv and Rhea. By the end there, it was stale as fuck. I know that. But that was before they made this Io Sky and Rhea match for Raw this Monday, right? I think for sure Liv wins the Chamber, interferes in that match, and then gets thrown into a three-way at WrestleMania with Rhea, Io, and Liv. And that's where I think they're going. I think Alexa Bliss. I love the idea of Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross as being a tag team.
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
Not talking to you.
You're probably just
Even
going to
Alexa
say
knows
Bliss.
you're reaching.
I love it.
Even
You're
Alexa
just gonna
knows
say
you're reaching.
Bliss.
I'd like to walk
the idea of them
back.
going after the tag titles, but
I'd like to walk
idea
back
of a
to
three-way
this
winner.
idea of Rhea and Bianca. Now, from a television production standpoint, so the very first episode of Raw on Netflix, I really think, and tell me if I'm wrong, they decided to have Rhea Ripley have the last frame. So she ended the night, I'm pretty sure. She was the one on the camera by herself. I feel like she is a Netflix face right now. And I think that if Bianca, the next time,
a face for Netflix.
kind of like maybe
face
like
for
one of the
Netflix
Netflix
kid.
girls, one of the people that they want to get behind, or So I feel like next time Bianca faces Rhea, she needs to beat her. And I don't think they're ready to take that belt off of Rhea just yet, not even at Mania. So just to get back to what you were talking about, Bianca getting her chance to overcome that. I just don't think with that in mind, if that's in case factual, that I think that they would have that at this Mania, because I don't think anyone's beating Rhea at Mania.
Well, to that extent, I would say the strongest argument against Bianca versus Rhea is the question of who wins. Because as much as you could make the argument that you don't see anybody beating Rhea at Mania, Bianca also has an undefeated streak at WrestleMania right now. It's not as, loud and profound as Undertaker's streak, but it is something that people are aware of. And it is something that's been brought up going into Mania these last couple times. She has yet to lose at WrestleMania. So there's also that to factor in as well. So that's
They're both young. They're both going to be around for.
Yeah, there's plenty of time for them to lose and win, and obviously for those streaks to get broken before they ever really matter on the level of what an Undertaker streak was. But it is still a thing. And so far, we haven't had any real needle mover matches announced for WrestleMania. We've got we've got Jay versus Gunther, and Charlotte versus Tiffany.
Yeah, I think that's
Neither
it.
one of those are needle movers.
No, they're not.
Yeah, Bianca versus Rhea is the first one that could really be a needle mover because it's the first dream match that would be booked for it. I have a hard time seeing them not wanting to book that match. And then from there, now as far as, again, the big question is who wins. But you got to book the match first before you have to worry about that question.
That's true.
All right,
But
so
the Jade Cardinal thing has to come to a head.
It does. That's why I think it plays some role either in this match or short or immediately after. Like if it doesn't happen at Elimination Chamber Saturday, it's got to happen on the Raw immediately after. Yeah. I think in the Discord, I pointed out two possible scenarios that could happen with Jade and them. I think one would be depending on which one would be the heel, whether it's Naomi turning heel as the one who did it, or if Bianca would be the heel as the one who did it. Which again, options are on the table, and that depends on if they do it then. But either way, it has to come to a head this week.
Yeah, I mean, if not, then what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Shit,
and,
get
and
off
the,
the
and the
pot.
rumors are already out there that her return is, as we've heard, like imminent.
Mhm.
I think one scenario I posed was Jade returns in the match, stares them both down, because obviously it's no DQ in the match in Elimination Chamber, so she's free to show up and get involved. And maybe both Naomi and Bianca are in the ring. Jade staring them both down, and obviously they have that moment of tension. She's looking at both of them. Oh shit, what the fuck does this mean? And then Jade lays out Naomi.
Yeah, well, you could throw Liv in there too. It could be the three of them because she's
Maybe Liv is standing there as well. And like I said, and Jade just attacks the one who attacked her. She lays out Naomi. Okay, it turns out Naomi was the one who attacked her. That gets Naomi out the picture, enables Bianca to win. Turns out Naomi was the attacker. Now Naomi goes heel, which would be interesting for her character, because I don't know that we've seen Naomi really as a significant heel on the WWE roster. Other option could be that maybe Jade tries to go after Bianca, and maybe thinking that Bianca's implying that Bianca's the attacker, but maybe Bianca pulls Naomi in the way or something like that.
Or Jade just levels
pulls
everybody.
somebody else in the way, and it avoids the attack, allowing and confirming that Bianca was the attacker. Now Bianca's turned heel, and Bianca finishes that match out as a heel and wins. Which would obviously kind of imply that, well, now they got to do something with the Bianca Jade thing, if that's the case. But somehow, they could drag that fucker out. Maybe it was the both of them. Maybe Bianca and Naomi collectively go heel. And Bianca and Jade ends up having to go through Naomi at Mania while Bianca's moving on to Rhea. Rhea gets the win, and then afterwards they move into the Bianca Jade.
What do you think about a triple threat at Mania?
All three of them versus each other? It's an option. I don't know if it's an option I'm really excited for, because that would imply that all three of them have collective beef with each other, which would be it'd be some interesting storytelling to try to make all three of them have beef with each other.
Right,
well, it would also hide a little bit of Jade's greenness. Having her in there with two others at WrestleMania, it would protect Jade a little bit. I mean, I know she's not as green as she once was, but it's Mania.
Yeah, but at some point, Jade's either got to shit or get off the pot as a singles competitor. Like they can't,
know, because she looks like one.
They can't hide her for so long. So something's got to give. If they're, especially with this type of storyline, this storyline is kind of built for her getting her revenge on somebody. As tailor-made for a one-on-one match, which, if you're going to have her in a one-on-one feud with somebody and you are still, as you say, trying to protect her or save her, you want her in there with somebody experienced who can really help carry her through a match if that's still needed. True. And Naomi is a prime person to do that.
Yeah.
Right. All right, guys. Let's move on to the main event. We got John Cena, CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, Logan Paul, Damian Priest, and Seth freaking Rollins. This is for the Undisputed WWE Championship match at WrestleMania. I'm pretty fucking psyched for this, man. This is a stacked fucking card here. I thought at one point I'd much rather have had Rey Mysterio than Logan Paul, but I feel like Logan Paul is going to take an ass beating in this fucking... I think he might take the worst of it in this.
As he should.
As he should, right?
Yeah, well, he's
As
still in there to
he
be the
should.
guy that jumps off the top of the cage or something, too.
Yeah, he's just there for the athletic shit.
Yeah, exactly. He ain't
And so
fucking...
this is just for a match at WrestleMania. This is nothing other than just a match, right? Because we're not sure what direction. Do you think that whoever Cody's going to be wrestling is going to be winning this match? Because we already know what Jay and Gunter are doing, right?
I'm going to tell you right now, I believe, that Logan Paul, and I have this feeling, man, that Logan Paul and CM Punk are going to beef all the way to Mania. Why? I don't know. It's just every week these two are just somehow interacting with each other since the Rumble. And, Logan eliminated Punk. Unfortunately, I don't see Punk getting this W and getting his main event as much as I fucking want it. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't know what we're doing with Seth Rollins still. I don't know also what we're doing with Drew McIntyre yet. Nor do I know.
Because a WrestleMania is not a WrestleMania with probably all of these guys being involved in some way or another. I mean, it's almost all their top guys.
I just don't know. Are we going to do Drew and Seth again? But I don't know what direction some of these guys are going after this pay-per-view. Because I honestly believe we're getting Cena. We're getting Cena winning this. Cena's gonna get it, and we're gonna get Cena versus Cody. And I know that's a fucking stretch.
It's nuts, though. It'd be great.
It doesn't make any sense.
Someone's got to turn.
John Cena's whole gimmick has been, I haven't won a singles match in 10 years.
Exactly.
Or whatever it is. He's going to come and just all of a sudden he's the guy that can beat Cody when no one else has been able to.
That's right. Yeah,
it just doesn't make sense.
And you don't have to have a heel either.
But I don't think they're going to turn him heel.
No, there's no heel turn.
Even if, what would be the point? If you're going to turn him heel, you have to turn him heel for 3 months and then turn him back to retire. What the hell's the point? I think at this point, you go full on babyface with Cena. I think you have all year too. And I think he will get that 17th championship. I just don't think it'll be facing Cody at WrestleMania. I really like my idea.
Stretching until next Mania, right? Am I wrong?
What's that?
Isn't he stretching this out till next Mania?
No, the end of the year.
This is going to the end of 2025.
Yeah, and I love my idea of him winning the title on his last night in the company at the end of December in Boston, and then retires as champion. And then you could do the Rumble for the belt or whatever. But you have all year to get John Cena involved in the title scene. I don't think it's the time to do it.
Yeah, I'm kind of in agreement with you, Doyle, that most of this year is going to be about Cena's quest to finally get that 17th title. Even though you could argue that the promo that he cut after the Rumble was kind of teetering on heelish a bit, with the kind of aggression that he had about being in the match, saying that, he should be in it and because it's what's best for business and this, that, that little bit of arrogance and stuff kind of teetered a bit on heelish, but I don't think that it was enough to say that Cena's going to turn heel just to become champion and try to do that throughout the year and then make some sort of face turn at the end. I don't see that either.
You're absolutely right. But the one caveat I would say is that, and maybe we can roll in the Cody Rock stuff into this, or if you want to discuss it separate, I don't know. But if Cody doesn't say yes, does Rock still get a champion, and who is it?
It's Logan Paul.
And I could see it being John Cena. John Cena would be on my list of suspects, but I don't think it would be. I have another suspect.
Yeah, that's wild. I don't know if that would be wild. If that would work? Because
corporate heel John Cena,
right? Corporate, this is in his last year, he sells out to The Rock.
Right.
That's deep. That is dark. And I'm saying Logan Paul is going to win this with a pin over the biggest dog in the match. It's going to be John Cena that he pins, which will set up a future match, and Logan Paul will be The Rock's champion, but he won't get it. And they build it toward WrestleMania with Logan Paul because Logan Paul will bring the eyes to the screen.
No, the
Ron,
fuck
Everyone is
he
going to
won't.
fucking hate him.
Come on, don't be crazy.
Except for one, we've already gotten Cody versus Logan Paul. They did that at Crown Jewel. Nobody
Yeah.
gave a shit about that match then. I doubt anybody's going to give a shit about a part 2 at WrestleMania. Like, out of all these
WrestleMania.
names,
It's the biggest match at WrestleMania. You know, like you don't put a guy that's had 12 matches. No.
yeah, and this is the main
As good as
event.
11 of those 12 have been.
Yeah, let's not forget about that. Like what this match is. We're talking about the main event of WrestleMania.
Yeah.
This is going to be the final match on night 2. They is not about to build WrestleMania main event, Las Vegas, Logan Paul versus Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, I don't think so.
It's gonna be in Vegas. And what's more showy than some asshole that fucking fought freaking Mayweather?
What's more showy? A bigger name in wrestling.
I know, but look at all the times main events were Mr. T. They were all these freaking fluff matches, just so Vince got the views. I don't know. I'm not saying it's going to be concrete, but you know what? I'm going to go. That's my selection. You can all beat me up after the Elimination Chamber, and I will take a beating.
Beat you up after. We're beating you up now. Fuck that.
Oh, that's go for it.
Wait till Saturday.
Just like he said to Tyson, I'll fucking kill you. Remember when he was in that fucking match, dude?
Right. Yeah, like I just don't see it. Like I said, we've lamented about they don't have anything that moves the needle yet. And you got all these names in it, and you pick the guy that's probably the least likely to move the needle. Because, like I said, the best thing about Logan Paul right now is how unliked he is. And it's not, and he doesn't have that unlikable factor the way a Triple H did or a heel Seth Rollins did, where you want to see them get their ass kicked and just lose a match. Logan Paul has the unlikable factor of, no, people just don't fucking like him. Like, he's the only guy in the WWE that is legitimately banned from multiple countries in the world.
Well, the
Not
Usos
Vegas.
for permission to go to Canada, I think. But
Yeah, the legalities. But not because of, no, fuck you. Don't bring your sorry ass in our country. We don't like you type band.
you notice there's an Uso free show?
Well, oh, this one in Canada?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because they have to get permission.
Right, but that's because of legal issues. It's not because the Canada's like, fuck those guys. We don't like them.
That's true.
What's going on?
Japan is legitimately like, no, fuck Logan Paul. And Egypt is legitimately like, fuck Logan Paul.
That's heat, baby. That's heat.
Yeah, is that the
Listen, that's damn near freaking, how about to say, goddamn diplomatic crisis.
Yes. There's a lot of those too.
Like I said, he's a heel, but he ain't that type of heel. He ain't, top of the heel in the country. I mean,
What if you
in the
attach him to
company.
Rock?
Huh?
What if he's attached to Rock?
Yes, that would amplify his heel status. Depends on how The Rock wants to act.
Yeah,
The Rock's in his bipolar phase where one moment he's giving babyface shit and the next moment he's acting like a dick.
He wants motherfucking souls, dude.
He's going to pick a lane and stay in it.
If anything, Logan Paul siding with The Rock would solidify The Rock as the heel more so than and prevent Rock from being able to try to do babyface shit just because Logan's that damn unlikable.
Yeah.
Like I said, but I mean, I honestly don't know who to pick in this match because, yeah, the money would probably point you towards Cena winning and going with Cody versus Cena at Mania. That seems to be where the money option would be. But I'm also in agreement with Doyle that I don't see it happening yet. And I don't know if Cena's going to get more than one title opportunity at this year. Unless it comes in the form of some sort of multi-man match like a triple threat or fatal four-way. Other than that, I think he's going to, at one point this year, he's actually going to finally get his title shot. And when he does it, he's going to win it. It's just a matter of when they decide to do that. And I don't think they're going to
do
do
a SummerSlam thing or something like that.
Right. And I don't think they're going to do it at WrestleMania. One, I don't remember what the number is, but I know they said there's a number on how many, like a definitive number on how many dates
Cena has
that he's going to make this year. And as every week that goes by that he doesn't make an appearance, that consolidates that thing. It crams that into a smaller window, which means more likely him having multiple appearances in consecutive weeks in this, that, and the third. So if you want to get the most out of this, then when he becomes champion, he can't just be I'm champion and dipping out for a month to go do some more Hollywood shit. It's got to be a legitimate run, and I think that's what Cena's going to want to do this year, is give a legitimate run where I'm chasing that title, I win it, I'm defending it, I'm on Raw, and you're getting me for consecutive weeks, or like every week for maybe 2 or 3 months.
Yeah, yeah.
If that's easily like
in 5 months, then 5 or 6 months,
right? And you're talking about, like, I know the number is somewhere like in the 30s, I think, as far as appearances. If he just did SmackDown every week for 3 months, that's 12 appearances, 12, 13 appearances. You mix in a couple of Raws and a PLE in there, then you get up to 14 or 15. So that to me gives credence to the fact that Cena's not going to win it at Mania. It'll come some point later. I think I'm going to go with Punk.
That'll be
I
fun.
think I'm going to go with Punk winning this.
Punk.
And we get Punk versus Cody at Mania. I know this storyline isn't there, but if two people ain't much of a storyline there. There's a little bit there.
Yeah,
but if two people could ever build it up and make it into something,
it's those two.
Those two could do it. Especially if you're going to still have that dangling carrot out there of The Rock and Cody and his soul. And if you need somebody for Cody to make the heel turn, if that were to happen against, Phil could be the foil to that, given that he is still pretty popular. Granted, that does leave other guys like Drew and Seth and them just kind of hanging out there in the winds, which is kind of wild. But I think my pick is Punk.
It's a good pick.
Yeah, I'm going to pick Punk also. And I also don't really feel great about it either. But I think whoever wins this match is going to end, because I think Cody is going to say no to The Rock. And I think that The Rock will still get his champion, and I think it will be whoever wins this match. And I think they can turn Phil heel real easy, especially if he comes out in a suit. He, have him all clean cut. He does a reverse pipe bomb where he talks about how great being a company man is, and like, yeah, I'm doing, this is all about the money to me. I don't give a shit about you, like that's all I ever cared about.
Don't forget, he said that when he came back the first night. I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to make money.
Right, exactly. Right. He can even say that. I told you the first night I was back, I wasn't here to make friends. I was here to make money. So yeah, and I think it'll but that's still the only foil to my plan is the favor. It's still out there. What is the favor? Is the favor Paul Heyman accompanies him at WrestleMania maybe? Mm-hmm. But if Heyman's a face right now, does that mean Heyman also has to turn heel? I can't quite work out where the favor. Maybe I don't know. I can't quite work out how the favor comes into play. But I would love to see a heel turn for Punk, who wins his match and becomes a corporate fucking.
Ooh, corporate Punk though, that goes against every grain of his.
Awesome.
Do you think the fans would bark at that, saying,
"Well,
Punk's
like
not
what you
follower"?
I think, like what Doyle said, I think that's part of what would make it so awesome. In regards to the favor you were talking about, I think kind of where we're all being a little bit short-sighted with in terms of the favor is I think we're kind of all narrowing it, being a little narrow-minded in it, and thinking that Punk and the favor somehow has to involve Roman Reigns because Paul Heyman is so tied to Roman.
Can
But-
you bring me up to speed on this favor you guys are talking about?
Okay, so not SummerSlam,
War Games,
Survivor
right?
Series, War Games, was obviously old OG Bloodline versus
Mhm.
new Bloodline 2.0. Bloodline guys could not get a fifth member for their team. It was just Roman, Usos, and Sammy versus
Because Roman had been such a dick to everybody.
right, and
Absolutely.
everybody was like, "Fuck you, Roman. I'm not helping you out."
Yeah.
Who comes to the rescue at the last minute to be the fifth guy? Paul Heyman, bringing in CM Punk
This guy,
to be
yeah,
the
I
fifth
remember
guy
that.
and help out the team. And he did it because he did it as a favor to Paul Heyman. And Paul said, "I will owe you a favor if you help out my tribal chief, Roman Reigns." So the favor is on Paul Heyman, not
Okay.
necessarily has anything to do with Roman Reigns. It's Paul Heyman who owes him a favor. So just kind of, spitballing.
Mhm.
The favor could be that Paul Heyman makes the call to The Rock, final boss, and gets The Rock to choose Punk as his guy in the face of Cody rejecting him. That could
that's
theoretically
right.
be the
Heyman, you know,
favor that
so-
Punk calls in, rather than Punk having to offer himself up and saying like, "Hey, Rock, I'm here. Pick me, pick me." He
Yeah.
could be like, "Paul, get me in touch with The Rock. That's my favor." Or get The Rock to choose me as his corporate guy. Since Cody doesn't want it, I'll take it.
And then Punk could even swerve at the last minute after he gets that belt. He could swerve and then be everyone's fucking hero.
Nope.
No,
If he
you
doesn't-
think he's gonna be all in for
Yep,
a while?
if he do it, he got to be all in.
I agree with Ron.
can't-
It's
nope.
against everything he believes in. I mean, like he doesn't even like The Rock. I mean, I understand.
Yeah, and
it's
Hollywood was
business.
against everything that Hulkamania believed in until he dropped a fucking leg on Randy Savage.
Right. Exactly.
Well, if Punk does make this swerve, he can blame it on Heyman. Just say, your fault for trusting me in the very beginning. Maybe then Punk stays face and he's just being the super heel to get whatever he wants.
Some of the greatest heel runs have come from the people who were the biggest baby faces or perceived to be the biggest heroes of the people.
Absolutely.
And when they're the ones that say,
Baby
"Fuck
faces,
you,"
I said great heels make great baby faces and vice versa.
exactly. And I can see it. And since they're kind of, especially if Cody is the champion right now, they're kind of running thin on heels for him to go against, especially top tier heels that can really be a problem for him. So either they need
so
to build
true.
up some more heels for him to face, or he needs to drop that title and get back into the chase to regain it. And CM Punk would be a perfect guy to do that. Especially,
Cody needs to heal too. Like the babyface versus babyface thing with him and Cena just doesn't make sense.
yeah, especially if they're not pulling the trigger on the long rumored Cody Randy Orton feud anytime soon, since Randy's seemingly going to be preoccupied with at least with Kevin Owens upon his return. So they still got that somewhere off in the distance. So Cody needs somebody to fight in the meantime.
Do you think there's a chance Rock puts himself in the chamber and makes him the 7th entrant or something?
No.
I pitched to him as the 31st entrant in the Royal Rumble. Could
I love that.
Which still would have been dope.
Yes.
Could he insert himself and him take the match with Cody if he wins?
I don't think so, just from the standpoint that he seems like he wants to be the guy controlling the guy.
Yeah, I'm not going to believe Rock isn't wrestling in WrestleMania until the Night 2 press conference starts.
Yes.
I'm inclined to believe that we're not going to get it this year. At least not him wrestling an actual match. Some physicality, sure, on the table, maybe, and could see that. Especially if we get Punk versus Cody and Punk is the Rock's guy. I can see the Rock.
And he makes himself a special guest referee or something.
Maybe not a special guest referee, but I can see him just showing up and doing almost like the boss, a true final boss thing, like, forcing the ref to do this or that, like the way he did last year. When they were fighting on the outside, and he'd look back at the refs like, don't you dare fucking count out. I'll fire you on the fucking spot or whatever he said.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's-
I can
that
see him
kind of
showing up
power
in the match and
flex.
doing something like that. Like he just walks in the match and the referee's like, "What the fuck you doing? Like, get the fuck out the way, bitch! I'm the final boss." He just drops fucking Cody and orders Punk to pin him or something like that, and orders the referee to count, and just full on final boss heel. And then the summer of Punk, or the dark summer of Punk begins.
Yes, it'd be awesome.
I mean, it's definitely easy to take Damian Priest out of the
Yes.
conversation.
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously, I kind of
If
feel
you
like
want
Seth
something
Rollins
good-
is going to maybe go against Roman. They may have that for Seth.
Seth and Roman.
Oh yeah, almost certainly, because
I think
clearly
they're
Roman's gonna be at Mania, and it'll probably be that. They'll probably be a triple threat match. We'll probably get like Roman versus Seth versus Drew.
I'd like that.
That would be
sounds
cool.
Like a good idea. Yeah.
It would be great if they were able to obtain Dean Ambrose from AEW for one killer payoff triple threat Shield match. Doubt that'll happen, but
no.
One.
Ain't no way.
One day.
Ain't no way in hell Tony Khan helping them for WrestleMania of all events.
I know.
Yeah,
What
but
if?
I mean, yeah. Well, you guys got anything else you want to add to this match?
This match itself, nah, not really. Like I said, it's kind of it's still up in the air. It's still the most wide open, match that we've seen in quite some time. I think there's hardly any wrong answers in this match as far as who could win other than Logan Paul. But other than that, I think you can pick anybody. But it's wide open. It's definitely wide open. Like I said, the intrigue in this one as far as who's going to actually win will have everybody on the edge of their seat.
Do you guys think there's any chance that, I mean, I know Uso is a huge baby face, but do you think there's any chance of him being Rock's champion? I mean, he's got the bloodline thing going on. He's blood. I mean, he's such a hot baby face.
I don't think so.
That's the argument right there against it. The fact that he's so over. Are they really willing to throw away all the yeets for this?
Yeah.
Throw away all the merch that he's selling right now for this? Like, you can't even flip it to no yeet if he turns heel, because Jimmy's got that, and Jimmy's turning no yeet into a babyface thing.
Yeah.
That's working for him.
I know, that's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that would be. Ugh. I mean, maybe somewhere down the line, if Jimmy starts to get some real momentum as a babyface, and Jay gets maybe the yeet starts to cool off a little bit. Maybe they revisit Jamie versus Jay, and Jimmy's the babyface and Jay is the heel. Maybe they revisit it at some point down the line there, especially if Jay were to be a heel champion. Maybe if say, for example, he has a longer run than we think he might get, because I think most of us kind of think I won't speak for anybody else. I think Jay's going to win at WrestleMania. How long his title reign turns out to be afterwards, TBD. But suppose he gets a long reign and in that title reign, he transitions from babyface to a heel. Maybe The Rock exerts more of his power. Maybe at some point, depending on how far they want to go with a Rock final boss corporate dictator storyline, there could be some space down the line where The Rock has control of both champions. He has CM Punk as the WWE champion, his corporate champion, and Jay as his corporate world heavyweight champion. That's a possibility. Nuts. And then you got to bring some people up to dethrone him. Maybe Jimmy is the one that has to come up and stop his brother, and somebody else has to rise up to stop Punk. I mean, it's up there on the drawing board. It's up there on the big poster board of possibilities.
Gentlemen, can I give one more scenario before we move on?
What's that?
What if we have all this hype behind Jay, and you have The Rock being a master heel? Remember how he tried to swerve WrestleMania last year, and then the fans fought back? What if Roman becomes his champion, and then Uso is attacked, taking him out of the spot, and then Roman takes the title from Gunter, being The Rock's champion, and Jay has to climb that mountain, and whoops, Roman Reigns to become the ultimate babyface champion, maybe at the next pay-per-view.
The only problem with that is, one, I don't see them putting the title back on Roman just to be a transitional short-term champion. Two, I don't see Roman, after finally getting the Ulafala back and reaffirming himself as tribal chief, then acquiescing to someone else, even if it's The Rock as final boss. Especially after when they were together last year and The Rock tried to cut a promo, Roman literally cut him off and said, "Acknowledge me." And The Rock did that. I don't see them flipping that, and all of a sudden now Roman standing on his own becomes a more quote-unquote yes man to The Rock.
Yeah, they just spent the last decade trying to get Roman over as a babyface, and they finally did it.
Yeah. They immediately throw him back into the heel waters.
But they might. Who knows?
Some weirder shit has happened.
Yeah.
All right. Cool, guys. Cool. With that said, let's wrap up this fucking episode. Dre, do you have anything you want to plug?
Nothing at this point in time. As always, y'all can find me in the Discord or follow us on Instagram, instagram.com/PCW podcast.
Doyle, what do you got?
Yeah, just in the Discord and like the Facebook page.
Cool. Ron, what do you want to plug, man?
You know, I plugged last episode, so I'm going to be plug free, man. Cool. Plug this.
All right. And, yeah, we got a Twitter page, and we got a merch store. We got everything. A lot of shit's on our website. You know where to find us. I mean, come on. If you made it through this many fucking episodes, you know where to find us. Come on. All right, guys.
Thank you so much for having me, guys. It was nice chatting with you.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Great having you on. Great discussions.
Yeah.
You fucking mark!
You are the world's dumbest son of a bitch.
The fact that day in and day out for almost 6 years I have proved to everybody in the world that I am the best on this microphone, in that ring, even at commentary. Nobody can touch me.
You are not ready for Oscar!
Because the Street Profits are up and we want the smoke.
You're next! Talk about your songs, talk about John 3:16. Austin 3:16 says I just whipped your ass.
Well, let me tell you something, brother. New day!
The cream will rise to the top. Oh yeah, Macho Madness here.
Welcome to the Kevin Owens Show.
Lately, he just hasn't been very oozy.
Because I'm the Miz, and I'm awesome! Those rotten bastards!
Bye-bye, bitch.